Okay, so we've finished styling the main text now. What we're going to do is just bring up the finished design, and we can see straight away in this area the main difference is we have this dividing line going on here, which we don't have yet in our working version. So what we'll do is add that in now in this brief clip. So if I just minimize this and take us back to here, the first thing we need to do is create a new layer for that dividing line to be on. I'm just going to create one underneath the text but above this bar layer here. So if I just click the bar layer and then click add new layer, we have layer 1 going on here. So if I just double click in there, we'll name the layer divide line so we know what it is for future reference. Enter. And the next thing we need over in the tool palette is the line tool. Now you may have the rectangle still selected here, so what we're going to do is we're just going to click and hold that down until we bring these options up, and we'll select the line tool from there. Fantastic. The next thing is to change the colour that we're going to use. Instead of the white here on the foreground colour, we'll just click in there, and using this using the colour picker tool here, we're just going to click somewhere in this background area so we have this dark blue selected, and that's fantastic. Okay, so as you can see now we have this the dark blue background colour selected to use. Now with the line tool selected, if we go up to the top here, we'll just make sure that the options are all correct. We want first of all to make sure that fill pixels is selected here. It should still be, I think, but just to make sure. The weight wants to be 1 pixel, and anti-aliasing for this purpose wants to be clicked off, so make sure there's no tick in that little box. Okay, that's good. So the divide line, if we just bring up the original just to see where it starts and ends, basically it's just to match the length of the title. So I'll minimize that. So what we're going to do on this layer is to, underneath there, it doesn't matter for now that the text isn't properly spread out, we'll do that in a moment. So if we just click and hold down the left mouse button anywhere under the P, and now hold down Shift, because what that does is, as you can see, the line tool now, it's, you know, it can be on any angle. An easy way just to constrain it to a straight line is to hold down Shift, and what that does is it stops me being able to move the line up and down, but can still move it to the length that I want. So if we just do that and then drag it over to the end of the E and let go, you can see we have the dark blue line on there. What I'm going to do is just move the text about now so it's appropriately spaced around this line. So if I just grab your name here presents, I'll grab the text that's actually above the line, holding down Control so we select multiple layers. I'm going to select the Minisite layer and Project layer, and using the Move tool up in the tool palette, I'm just going to, with a cursor key, just going to nudge this up a few pixels so it's nicely spaced above that line, and then grabbing the tagline layer, again using the cursor keys, we're just going to drop that down a few pixels until it's nicely spaced, as thus. Now we're going to just style that dividing layer so it looks like the one that we have here, so it just looks like a little indentation on the header. Minimize that one, and selecting our divide line, we'll double click on the layer to apply the style. And what we're going to add is a bevel and emboss. Click that, make sure that the layer is highlighted. As you can see, it hasn't done very much yet. That's because the inner bevel is not the one we want. What we actually want, if we're clicking on there, is we want the pillow emboss, which is something different to what we've used so far. And if we just click on there, just watch what happens to the line. There you go, it looks as though it's actually embossed now into the header rather than beveling anything outwards. So that's nice, but it's a little bit too strong. So what we're going to do is just change the options on here that we need to. The depth wants to be 1%, and the size here also wants to be 1. And that's nice. Yeah, you can see that's looking more like it. It's a little bit harsh still. So down here we're just going to change these settings to 60 for the highlight mode, and then the shadow mode we're going to take right down to 30. So that's 13 there. That just makes it a little bit more subtle than it was, but still quite nice. Okay. So once you're happy with that and happy with the spacing, I mean, you can move the dividing line about with the cursors now or anything. Once you're happy with that, move on to the next video.